It's a chapter that's very different from the earlier chapters, and I think what I would hope that the reader would get out of that chapter is, in some ways, the contrast with some of the earlier ideas. Take equivalence of meaning. In chapter 3, we had Jacobson saying anything is translatable, and Nida looking at the transfer of meaning from source text to target text and some form of evaluation of whether that meaning had been successfully transferred.
Yeah.
Along comes Derrida in chapter 10, and a spanner goes in the works because he starts, there's the question of the stability of meaning. He throws that into question. The meaning is not easily tied down. It shifts.
Okay.
And when you start bringing that into translation, it throws doubt on, you can even throw doubt on the whole process of translation.
Right.
So I would hope that some of the ideas, the philosophical ideas, which are very complicated, very complex, would begin to get the reader thinking in new ways about translation. With Derrida, it would be that the meaning itself, there are multiple meanings of the multiple interpretations of the text.
Yeah.
Who's to say that one interpretation is better than another interpretation?
Right.
His essay, the mid-1980s essay, Des Tours de Babel, is a classic in that respect, and his concept of différance, and he plays with the signifier there, and there are, so Des Tours de Babel could be about the Towers of Babel, or a detour, or around the towers. So again, you're not sure that your interpretation is the correct one, and in fact you should be sure that there is no correct interpretation
of Derrida's own work. It's
or of that kind of, I think perhaps of Derrida's own work, and even certainly of some of these linguistic plays. These are designed to undermine the stability of meaning. Another key figure is Walter Benjamin, who's had a huge influence over translation studies, later translation studies.
Okay.
He's best known within the field for his essay, The Task of the Translator, from 1923. It was a preface to some to translations of Baudelaire, which he did. And his essay is important because he looks at the creative energy of translation, what translation can do to give life again to the original. And it feeds back into earlier chapters as well. His idea of the best kind of translation would be an interlinear translation of the Bible. That's what he says at the end of the essay. So it links back to some of the work from chapter 2, which was looking at Bible translation. Benjamin takes this in a different way, but he sees the interlinear literal translation releasing the energy of the original there. Now, you could say that some of these ideas in chapter 10 are of less practical use to a translator or someone learning to translate, but I think they are crucial in giving a rounded picture of the field as a whole, and of shedding new light and different light on some of these concepts.
Benjamin's discussion of giving life to a text or giving it extra spirit, is that just relevant to historical text, or can it be also related to contemporary translations?
So it's a good question. I think one that can be asked also of some other translation theories, how far they're restricted to a particular time or to a particular genre. In Benjamin's case, he focuses on Bible translation, on literary translation. Certainly his theories could be applied to current literary translation, I think. When you shift to more commercial translation, then perhaps the applications are less obvious. But still, I think anyone interested in translation should be interested in these theories too.